Howdy, this is my chapter 14 video of the leadership traits and what I believe makes the best type of leader. So in my opinion, the best type of leader has a couple of different traits. And honestly, the way that I believe leaders should be is is kind of against the grain just because it comes from my Christian background, which I'm sure a lot of people can testify when on this campus. But I personally believe that there are a couple of key traits that both leaders should exemplify because that just is overall good for the company, but also because Jesus himself exemplified these. So the first one that I'm going to be talking about is trustworthiness, and that just happens to do with the amount the employees that the person are under, and not even employees, but the people who this person is leading over, the amount of influence that this person has over them, and the amount of just willingness to believe in this person, just that exemplifies from their trustworthiness and how much they've built themselves up to be someone who they can place their trust and their faith in. And just being able to be trustworthy just comes over time. It comes over just the decisions you make, your consistency, all those things. A consistent leader is also a really good trait to have, but I believe that all of those are really into the idea of being a trustworthy leader. The second one is loyalty. I believe that a good leader is loyal and will stick around when needed, and will act for the good of the people he's serving and the people he's leading over. Sorry, I heard a noise. You might have heard that too. But yeah, a good leader, I believe, is someone who is loyal. The people who not just looking for the next leg up, but are willing to serve the people who they're over currently, and not looking just to exploit or to take advantage of, but to really work for the good of them. And all of this kind of encompasses to what I believe is the ultimate example of what a leadership trait should be, and to me that's humility. And I think that that is perfectly exemplified by Christ, because he was the perfect example of a servant leader. And where I think the idea of being a leader goes against the grain of traditional leadership in America specifically, especially within a corporate standpoint, is that leadership is often built on, in America, built on personal gain and seeing yourself as the highest, as the pinnacle, while everyone else below you is obviously below you. The idea with servant leadership is it kind of flips those positions, and that you are suddenly one of the people, you happen to be heightened, and you happen to be raised above them. And Jesus was the ultimate example of this, because obviously he was literally God. He could literally do whatever the heck he wanted, but yet he chose to humble himself, and in that way he exemplified himself as the greatest leader to ever exist. So I think that by exemplifying a lot of Jesus's traits, and by modeling humility and modeling trustworthiness and modeling loyalty, all of those being encompassed underneath humility, and just the idea of being a servant leader, which obviously is a big theme on campus. So I'm not very original, but that's just my personal beliefs. So I hope y'all enjoyed listening, and those are the traits that I believe make a good leader. Bye, y'all.